If you're buying a home this spring, today's housing market can still feel like a challenge. With so few homes on the market right now, plus higher mortgage rates, it's essential to have a firm grasp on your home buying budget. You'll also need a sense of determination to find the right house and act quickly when you have to go put an offer on it. We are seeing longer days on market overall, but homes that are priced well and show well are highly desired and don't necessarily stay on the market long. So one thing you can do to help you prepare is to get pre-approved. This is important for several reasons. To understand why it's such an important step, first you need to know what a pre-approval is. I did a video on pre-qualification versus pre-approval a while ago, and that's linked here, but it's also linked in the description below so you can watch it later. Basically, the pre-approval is the part of the process where a lender looks at your finances to determine what they would be willing to loan you. From there, your lender will give you a pre-approval letter to help you understand how much money you can borrow. Freddie Mac explains it like this. A pre-approval is an indication from your lender that they are willing to lend you a certain amount of money to buy your future home. Keep in mind that the loan amount in the pre-approval letter is the lender's maximum offer. Ultimately, you should only borrow an amount you are comfortable repaying. Basically, pre-approval gives you critical information about the home buying process that'll help you understand how much you may be able to borrow so that you have a stronger grasp of your options. And with higher mortgage rates impacting affordability for many buyers today, a solid understanding of your numbers is even more important. I did a video last week that goes into housing affordability and knowing your numbers a bit in more detail. I'll link that video here, but also down below in the description as well. Number one, the pre-approval tells you what the lender will actually lend you, and the budget conversation here will help you nail down what you would truly want to spend. But number two, which is super important in any seller's market, but especially now, the pre-approval helps show that you're a serious buyer and that you're a qualified buyer. This added benefit can help a seller feel like they're more confident in your offer because it shows that you're serious about buying the house and you're actually qualified to buy the house. And with sellers seeing a slight increase in the number of offers again this spring, making a strong offer when you find that perfect house is key. As a recent article from the Wall Street Journal says, if you plan to use a mortgage for your home purchase, pre-approval should be among the first steps in your search process. Not only can getting pre-approved help you zero in on the right price range, but it can give you a leg up on other buyers too. The pre-approval shows that you've had that conversation with your lender. They've reviewed your numbers and feel confident that they can provide you with a loan for that amount. Now imagine you're a seller and you're getting multiple offers, and there's one that's maybe $5,000 more than another. But the one that's $5,000 more doesn't have a pre-approval letter at all. Or maybe they have a pre-qualification letter. A wise agent will tell that seller, hey seller, this offer without a pre-approval letter has a much higher risk of not making it to the closing table. They haven't been vetted by a lender, so do you really want to risk potentially having to go back on the market for $5,000? The stigma associated with going back on the market could cost the seller more than that $5,000. So I would recommend to that seller that they really think it over. And if it were me, I would 100% choose the offer with a pre-approval letter with a local lender, even if it's a little bit less. And if I have two offers and they have pre-approval letters and they are the same, I'm gonna go with the one from a local lender, not the big box bank. Let me know if you wanna know why in the comments below and I'll do a video on it. The pre-qualification letter basically means that the buyer has told the lender verbally what their debts and incomes are, and based on all that, if it was exactly as they said, the lender would go ahead and lend a specific amount for that buyer. But the problem is that nothing's been verified. Their credit hasn't been pulled, pay stubs haven't been reviewed, taxes haven't been confirmed, etc., etc. Once credit is pulled, they may find something on that credit report that affects their credit score. It may not even be something that belongs to that buyer, but it's going to take time to fix, and sometimes that can take months. So from a seller's perspective, which offer would you take? If you're asking, should I get pre-approved for a mortgage? The answer is yes. Yes, you should, 100%. If you are serious about buying, 100% yes. And I'll be honest, I don't show houses without a buyer having a pre-approval letter, and here's why. Number one, you need to know what you can afford. You may be looking at houses that are too high for your budget, and how depressing is that? Or you may be pleasantly surprised that you can get approved and afford higher than you thought you could. Number two, I don't want to take buyers that aren't qualified into sellers' homes. It's a lot of work to sell a home. Sellers have to keep their house spick and span, clean all the time, and then they have to jump for every showing. They have a list of stuff that they have to do for each showing, and they have to get their kids and their pets and themselves out of the house for each showing. It's a lot. So I'm not gonna have them do that for a buyer that doesn't even know if they can afford that home. It's just not fair. And number 3, it's a waste of the buyer's time and it's a waste of my time. We all have a limited amount of time in a day, and I wanna spend that on serious buyers and sellers. I'll be honest, in the beginning of my career, I did not have this requirement, and I showed houses based on what the buyer wanted to buy at. I'd leave my family for the weekend and show houses to buyers, sometimes several weekends in a row, only to find out that at offer time, they couldn't get a loan for that amount, or there was something on the credit report that they needed to work on. So it wasted both my time and the buyer's time. And that does not make a good relationship for either party. It's frustrating for everyone, and it's a huge waste of time. So again, if you're asking, should I get pre-approved for a mortgage? The answer is yes. If you're serious about buying, a 100% yes. Okay, let's answer some common pre-approval questions. Can you get a pre-approval without a credit check? No. That's the whole point of the pre-approval. You can get a pre-qualification, but we just talked about why it doesn't make sense to do that. What are the chances of getting denied after pre-approval? Low-ish. There's still things that can come up after you get pre-approved. For example, if you go to buy furniture after your pre-approval, but before you've closed on the home, you could no longer qualify. The same for getting a new car or any large expense. Don't do it. Don't change jobs. Like, there's a list of things not to do once you get pre-approved. So if you want that list, I can send it over to you. But even outside of this, there are things that can come up, like when they're doing a title check, that can affect your approval as well. Does getting pre-approved hurt your credit score? Or does getting pre-qualified hurt your credit score? Pre-qualified, generally no. They aren't pulling your credit to do this, so it won't hurt it. Pre-approval will cause your credit score to drop a few points, generally about 5, because they are doing a hard inquiry into your credit. But if you're shopping for a lender and you're getting it pulled from several different lenders, if you do this within a short period of time, say 10 days, you only get hit that drop, that 5-ish points drop, that one time. The system knows that you're shopping around for a lender, just don't go over that time period. How does pre-approval work? The lender asks for a credit application. They will run your credit. They will ask you for a bunch of documents. They're gonna want your ID, social security number, recent pay stubs, usually within the last 30 days, bank statements from the past 2 to 3 months, tax returns, including W-2s for the past 2 years, employment information, other income sources, business records if you're self-employed, investment account statements, a list of monthly debts, for example, rent, current mortgage, car loans, student loans, credit card, personal loans, home insurance, HOA fees, medical bills, etc. Rental information, sometimes landlord references. If you're using money for a down payment from an outside party, for example, grandma, you'll need a letter that says it's a gift and it doesn't need to be paid back. If it does, then it goes into the monthly debt category and actually affects your approval. It's a long list, but this is what gets you that glorious pre-approval that sellers are looking for. You've gone through the effort and have been verified by a lender. Once they verify all the information, they're going to provide you with an amount that you're pre-approved for. Don't forget to have that budget conversation so they know where you feel comfortable and can adjust the pre-approval accordingly. Does pre-approval lock in rate? No, it doesn't. You have to work with that lender to lock in that rate, and generally there's a fee. The pre-approval alone doesn't do it. You need to check with that lender. Do they check your credit after pre-approval? Yes, they can. They generally will run it again just before closing on a home, which is why you don't want to do anything that can affect your credit. Don't go buy that furniture until you have those precious keys in hand and you are officially closed. Does it cost to get pre-approved for a mortgage? The answer is sometimes. Sometimes there is a fee to get pre-approved. I mean, verifying all that information and that documentation does take some time. However, some only charge it at closing rather than upfront. So make sure that you ask the lender if they have a fee when you start the process so that you aren't surprised. Getting pre-approved is an important first step when you're buying a home. It lets you know what you can borrow for a loan and shows sellers that you're serious. It's a key in the seller's market for so many reasons. If you have more questions that I didn't cover, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.